Our diet is vital to our health and that it can be detrimental or beneficial. The American diet specifically consists of foods and drinks that are high in added sugar. Added sugar consumption, and in the case of the average American, overconsumption, is linked to serious adverse health effects. This includes risk of or predisposition to diseases. Several types of cancer are among the diseases associated with overconsumption of added sugar. Sugary foods and drinks are staples in the American diet. Beverages account for the majority of added sugar intake, especially in fruit juices. Many fruit juices are advertised as healthful, vitamin-rich drinks, despite being artificially flavored, with nutrition labels that contradict their health claims. A study published by Preventive Medicine in March 2020 assessed consumers' perceptions of how healthy fruit juices actually are. The study consisted of 3 experimental groups, one of which was a population of Americans with health behaviors that put them at risk for cancer. Participants were shown fruit juice products with varying labels. Some juices had pictures of fruit on them or made health content claims, while others did not. In the group of participants at risk for cancer, the majority of participants reported being more likely to purchase the products that made false health claims. Increased added sugar intake increases risk of developing cancer, more so in those who may already be at risk. But why? Consuming added sugar in excess causes inflammation in the body. Inflammation refers to reduced or otherwise inhibited function of body systems and organs. If these inflammatory responses become chronic, mutation and proliferation of cells can occur, as well as eventual tissue death. Because the body is unable to respond normally in this state, it can't defend itself against potential cancerous agents or cancer cells that may develop. Inflammation also interferes with the normal function of internal organs because sugar can't be properly metabolized. When sugar can't be metabolized in the liver, this leads to fat accumulation and, in severe cases, obesity. Obesity is another risk factor for cancer. The low nutritional, highly sugary foods and drinks the typical American consumes contribute significantly to the onset of obesity and inflammation. A study by Cells in 2020 assessed the prevalence of inflammation from consuming a traditional American diet by feeding it to mice. Laboratory mice were fed a maintenance diet for a few weeks, then they were administered an experimental diet high in saccharides comparable to that of an American's. While the mice were healthy prior to the high-sugar diet, cell suspension conducted in the mice after showed inflammation in their spleens and colons. Pro-inflammatory markers were also found in colon tissue. Sugar-rich foods and drinks in the American diet had comparable effects regarding inflammation to those of the experimental diet fed to the lab mice. For reference, dietary guidelines provided by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommended Americans intake no more than 12 teaspoons of added sugar daily. It was found in 2021 that most Americans actually consume anywhere from 15 to 20 teaspoons of sugar on a daily basis. This can be about 65 to 85 grams of sugar, which significantly exceeds the recommended 50 grams of sugar. Many popular foods in the American diet contain high amounts of sugar in just a single serving. The average candy bar has 35 grams of added sugar, and a 20-ounce bottle of soda can contain about 70 grams. Considering these are typical snack items enjoyed by Americans, it's no wonder why added sugar intake exceeds the CDC's recommendations. In July 2021, Gastroenterology published a study that links early onset cancer in Americans with overconsumption of added sugar in adolescence. It's no secret that kids love sugary snacks, desserts, and drinks. As mentioned earlier, sugar-sweetened fruit juices are among these sugary drinks and are believed to have the same nutritional value as real fruit. The study assessed dietary information provided by patients during their adolescence who were then undergoing lower gastrointestinal endoscopies in their early adulthood. Many of the participants' diets were high in added sugar, and sugar-sweetened drinks were a major constituent. The same participants' procedures identified rectal tumors. Although they were benign, this indicated high risk of an early colorectal cancer diagnosis. Added sugar intake is a significant risk factor for cancer. In the American diet, added sugar is consumed excessively, namely through fruit juices that are believed to be healthy. Excessive sugar intake can lead to inflammation and obesity, both of which inhibit the body's ability to perform normal processes and metabolize sugar properly. This greatly increases the risk of developing cancer. So next time you're in the mood for a glass of apple juice, think about having the real thing instead.